Hi everybody, my name is Savanna and I am going to show you guys how to make wild-caught Alaskan salmon in your Instant Pot. So I grew up in Alaska and I happen to love making salmon. I find it to be very fun, it's pretty quick and easy, and it tastes delicious. Not only is it very good for you, and it has a lot of omegas in it. So what you're going to need is we're going to start out with a fillet of salmon. Mine was actually caught August 20th of 2020. I had this sent to me from my grandpa. They used to live up in Alaska. And then I did already prepare half of a white onion and then 2 small russet potatoes. So I wanted to do this so I'm not crying on the screen. And then you will also need some seasonings. I like lemon seasoning for my salmon. So I've got garlic powder, a little bit of lemon pepper, some citrus pepper seasoning, and then salt, pepper, your normal pepper, and then I like to also use Italian dressing. It really does help cut through with the salmon and make it a little bit more tender. So let's begin. So what we're going to do is in the bottom of your Instant Pot, we're going to dump in the vegetables. So we're just going to make sure that all of it gets in there, and I did already wash my hands. So all that's going to go in there, and then it should come with a tray that kind of looks like this. So what you'll do is you'll just kind of make sure everything's a little bit more flat in there, and then you'll put this tray in it. And that's to kind of keep the salmon from getting soggy and getting mushed in with everything else. And then I've got a 1/4 cup of water here. I'm just going to pour a little bit of that in the bottom. That's just to kind of keep it all from sticking. And then we're going to add our Italian dressing. So I'll add about 3/4 of a cup, so that way in total you only have 1 cup of liquid in the bottom. So, and I'm not super great about using really specific measurements because I've just kind of been doing this for a long time. But we'll just add this to the bottom. And then it's gonna look kind of gross, but it'll work out all right. So then what we're gonna do is add in the salmon. And this is also super quick and easy if you are trying to cook, for 2 or 3 people, and you are not wanting to have to sit over it and cover it. So my salmon is completely frozen. I just pulled it fresh out of the freezer, and it's just kind of like this. You can thaw it out. The only difference is it'll take a little bit longer to cook if it's frozen. But so it looks like this is the side that had the skin. So I'm gonna put that side down. It doesn't really matter. It's just my preference to do that. So put all this over here. Now it comes to the seasoning. So what I'm going to do is just kind of season to taste. I touched that and I need to wash my hands, but I'll wash it all after. So then we're just going to sprinkle on about half a teaspoon of garlic powder in there. And we're going to just sprinkle in a little bit of salt just on top of the salmon. And then I like to use fresh crushed pepper. So I don't know. Again, this stuff is pretty much seasoning to taste, so it's however much of it you would like to have on it. And I'm going to do a little bit of less pepper than normal because I've got lemon pepper and citrus pepper both going in there. So this is, I got this actually in Alaska, and it smells pretty good. It's just like a lemon pepper and, let's take a look, and zucchini. So it's an interesting mix, but I just kind of pour it on there. And then a little bit of this on there. And most of that is also going to be to seasoning all the vegetables that are underneath. And then the best part. So pepperoncinis are amazing. I love spicy food. And I don't know what it is, but pepperoncinis mixed with salmon is amazing. So I'm going to grab a fork. And I'm really just going to kind of lay it on top of the salmon. It's nothing super crazy. Doesn't have to be anything super beautiful, but we're just going to kind of dump it on top. And this will also add a lot of flavor to it as well. So you're not only going to get some peppery flavors for your potatoes, but you're also going to get a little bit of that pepperoncini flavor. So there we go. And then sometimes I will dump a little bit more juice in it, but since we already have the Italian dressing and the water on the bottom, there's no need. And then you can also, if you'd like to add butter to it to have it for your potatoes on the bottom. I will wait until the very end of the video to do that once I pull the salmon out and then I'm mixing everything. Once I drain all the fluid, I will add some of this to it. So I will show you what it looks like. So this is what it should look like right before we get going. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug it in and we're gonna turn it on to pressure cook, and it will be on high for, we don't need to cook it for very long. It'll just be, I'm gonna do 7 minutes because it's frozen. If it was thawed, I would do it for a little bit less, but that is what it should look like, getting ready to get cooked. Okay, we're back. So it has now cooked for 7 minutes, and then I'm now thawed or depressurized for 8. So I had already released the steam valve because that takes a minute. So we're gonna go ahead and open it. And it's pretty steamy. Can you bring the camera in a little bit so you can see? So that's what it should look like cooked. So in order to check and see, because every piece of salmon is going to be a little bit different, we're just gonna, oh yeah, that's gonna be really ready. So you can already kind of flake apart the pieces. I don't want it to flake apart too much because it's gonna continue to cook even when you pull it out of this Instant Pot. So, but it looks pretty, oh yeah, that's way done. It looks awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. And I'm gonna put it on my plate here. I don't think I grabbed a big enough plate. So let me grab this other plate. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the salmon in pieces. So there's the first half. There's the second half. Ooh, that looks so good. So it's going to be super tender, super awesome. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. I'm just gonna go put this in my sink. And the vegetables that are underneath are also going to be nice and soft. Like I was just able to kind of stick my fork in there. And I can either keep it as this and use this as like a stew almost as a starter. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drain out all the fluid and just pull out the potatoes and put them on my plate. So for time purposes, you can just go ahead and pull some out like that. Put them on the side of your plate. And all this is potatoes and onions and then all the juices from all your seasonings. And there it is. There's the salmon. It is nice and hot and ready to go. And this salmon, because it's freshly caught, is not deboned. So I'm gonna have to go through and debone it. But like, look at how awesome it is. It's just flaking right off. So that is it. Brain ready to go. We should do a blooper reel at the end. Okay.
This is the blooper reel, isn't it?
I'm stressing. Okay.
Or you don't have to be facing, just face this way.
Yeah.
Speak.
Okay. Let me see what that looks like. Okay. Sounds good.